Well, hello grade 12s. It is Mr. Flynn, the king of physics, but also the king of calculus, as you know. I mean, calculus, after all, Isaac Newton invented it. What are we talking about? Of course, you should come to me for help. So Deborah came like begging for me to help her with this question. And you know what? I didn't want to let her down. So guys, I figure you could all have the benefit of me doing this question. So I'm going to post it like this. So anyway, a train leaves the station at 11 a.m. This must be before the pandemic because of course we wouldn't be riding on a train at this time. And then travels south at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. So what I'm going to do is, here's your station and here's your train. And we're going to use this equation that the distance equals velocity times time. So in this case, 60t. So this distance here is 60t, okay? If that makes sense to you. This is a nice, beautiful physics equation, right? All right, now, that's at 10 a.m. Another train has been heading due west at 45 kilometers per hour, and it reaches the same station at 11 a.m. Now that can only mean that it was 45, it's going this way, like that, but it started out 45 kilometers away because it's going to make it there in an hour, right? So notice these times. This guy leaves at 10, so t is 0 at 10 a.m. But this guy, he arrives at the station an hour later, okay? So an hour before he arrives, when t is 0, he must be 45 kilometers away. So this vector is 45 minus 45t, okay? So when time is 0, this is 45, he's 45 kilometers away. When an hour has passed, so t is in hours, when an hour has passed, he'll be at the train station. This vector here will be 0, okay? Now I'll use the rainbow color. This line here is the distance between them, okay, at any given time. And it makes a right angle triangle, and we'll call it y, okay? I don't want to use d because calculus with all the d's in it. Okay, so that is your distance between them. And what we want to do is find the minimum distance, okay? So what you do is just write out the equation for distance. So y will equal, it's the hypotenuse. So just Pythagorean theorem, it'll be 60t squared, like that, right? Plus 45 minus 45t squared. Okay, like this. Now, what you're going to do is, the key to doing these calculus questions is getting that equation right. If you can get this equation right, so this is the system, then you just take the derivative. I don't know how you want me to do this. I'll write it like this. dy dt with respect to time, okay, will equal. Now, the whole square root thing, you know that square root is to the power of 1/2, so I'm just going to write it's 1/2, just using the chain rule. And then this is going to stay the way it is. It's going to be 60t squared plus 45 minus 45t squared to the negative 1/2, like that. And then you have to multiply using the chain rule. We multiply by the derivative of what's inside. So the derivative of the 60t squared is 2 times 60t times 60, if you get that, okay? That's the derivative of, here I'll use my rainbow color, of this guy. That's the derivative of that guy, okay? Now we're going to add the derivative of this guy. So I go plus, and it's going to be, it's going to be 2 times 45 minus 45t, like that. And then times the derivative of what's inside, that's negative 45. Okay? So that big long expression there, here let me zoom out a little, that's your derivative. Now, I think you know to find a minimum and maximum, so in this case finding a minimum, we have to set this equal to 0. Okay? But here's the deal, I'm going to highlight this. This is on the denominator. Okay, And there's nothing we can make that, because it's on the denominator, because we have a negative exponent right there, because that exponent is negative and this is on the denominator, a negative exponent means it's below, on the bottom there, this can't be 0. Because if it were 0, it would be a division by 0, and that will not make the expression 0. So we can ignore that whole thing, including the 1/2. The 1/2 just factors out anyway, so we can even ignore that, okay? And therefore, and let me go back to my rainbow, we just have to find out when this is 0, okay? So that is your sort of genius algebra skills coming into effect that would allow you to reason that out. And what you do is therefore go, here I'm just going to write this expression, 60 times 60 is 3600 times 2. So I'll just go therefore 7200t, okay? That's the first thing, plus 2 times 45 times negative 45. Oh, I guess I'm going to get a minus. So 2 times 45 is 90 times negative 45 is what? 4050. Okay, so that's minus 4050. And then we have 45 times 45 times 2 again, but it's going to be plus this time 4050t equals 0. So that's just this expression, okay? Just simplified a little bit. 7200 plus 4050, what's that? That's 11,250, right? So 11250t equals 40, equals 4050, like that. So 4050 divided by 11250. And I get 0.36, okay? So therefore, since we started at 10 a.m., therefore when the time is 10 plus 0.36, which is equal to 10.36, a.m. if you like. That's kind of a weird way of saying it though. I wouldn't write it like this because it's a decimal. So what you normally do is take that fraction of an hour. So what's 0.36 times 60? .36 times, hang on a minute, my calculator's messing up. 0.36 times 60 is 21.6. So this would be 10:21 a.m. and then there's a residual decimal, so 0.6 times 60 again, and 36 seconds. So it's actually 10:21 a.m. in hours, minutes, and seconds, right? So this is hours, minutes, right, and seconds, like this, okay? And this is written as a decimal. There you go, magical. See that? That's how you do it. That is calculus old school, yo. Okay. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that, and I will talk to you later. Anytime you want help with calculus, let me know. I love doing it. Okay, bye-bye.